Hey guys, so this is the one I kept for myself. Nice little Pikal, and I have them up on my website actually now. And this is basically where we're gonna go with these from now on. I make a few at a time, see how they go, and yeah, make small incremental improvements until there's like something that's actually like proper, solid, and then yeah, just stick to that. So right now this is where we're at. This was number 1 here. So the sheaths are like this, and I had a great difficulty in making the sheaths work, and the solution was really just to hollow this section out. So now you got 2 fingers in there, and you can actually push it with your thumb like that. I don't want to take these knives in and out of the sheaths too much because the surface does get like marred and scratchy and stuff. So this one was number 1, pretty nasty looking. Let's see if we can get this in there. Then we got, so this is the main change I made in this time around. So as you can see, this is full steel handle. I was kind of gonna stick with that, but one thing that I remembered from my previous like full steel Pikals is that if you're wearing it around your neck, it's this thing I said in the previous video. It's this like constant mass. It's this weight that you just carry around all the time. So with a Pikal being, you know, a knife that's not necessarily for abuse, it's more like a delicate knife. You have to be careful with it. I mean, you can't throw this around. You can't, you know, if you drop it and it lands on the tip, you're gonna pretty much you're pretty much going to make your Pikal useless from that point on. You know, so it's not a heavy abuse knife. It's not intended for getting abused. So I figured, why not just, you know, hollow out the handle with some fat holes. And I might actually in the next batch add another hole, so there's 4 holes in each of the handles. I gotta be careful. Anyway, so if you're wearing it around your neck, this just makes it a little lighter. It's nice to have, you know, if you're gonna carry a knife around your neck, it's nice that it's light. So I don't have my scale here. I don't know where I put it, but so this is the really the main improvement. Here, which one is this? Number 4. It looks pretty cool, actually. And let's try and get this out of there. There we go. Another change too that I made from the first couple is, you see it's kind of pointy there. I rounded it here just for added convenience. It doesn't really bother me that much, but because I know it's there and I made these, it's no big deal, right, for me. But because I'm trying to, you know, sell these to anybody, they might have a problem with that. So plus it's better that way, even you know, just as is. So yeah, this is really handy. This is actually quite light in the hand. Like I said, I'm going to do a 4th hole there, and I'm going to play around a little bit more with this section here just to kind of refine things, make it easier to make sheaths. And I might actually go with smaller washers. That might help. But either way, it's it. You know, it's pretty decent little design, pretty decent little blade. I'll be making a lot more of these, just to show some of the here. Just to show, so that the Rivet lock Puukkos, they don't all look like this one. They're all kind of slightly different. I was going to put them online. I don't want to yank it out, so I just want to use a little. This is number 30. And the handle on number 30 is, it kind of got inspired by doing these Pikals. And I think I'm going to actually keep this handle as the standard design for all the knives. Especially the Rivet Lock Puukko Long needs it, the Rivet Lock Puukko Medium, the Rivet Lock Pikals, and we'll see about the Rivet Lock Puukko Small, because I'm not going to make those for a while just yet. So yeah, just basic, nice, cool looking blade and full steel. I mean, can't really go wrong with that. One thing that I do have to do is make a wrapped handle for this handle style, so that I know, for example, if this curvature here has an effect on how easy or difficult it is to do a wrapped handle. So this one's pretty cool. Feels really nice in the hand. And then it just locks itself right in like that. I want to be careful taking them in and out of the sheaths 1,000 times, because you know, it's I don't want to have any scratches on the blades before they're sold, you know, of course. So just gonna put that in there. And then this one here is number 3. So you see they're very consistent. They're pretty much all the same. Pretty sick. The hollow grinds are nice. I might go lower on the hollow grinds. I might actually bring the grind further up. That's on the next ones. I kind of like the, you know, a thick spine, but it you know, it depends what you want to do with the knife, because if you want to cut through, you know, an apple, for example, you do want it to be a lot thinner, right? You want to have a much narrower cross section. But if you want to baton it, right, and you want to actually make fires with it, it's nice to have a thick spine. So either way, it's still possible to bring the grind further up, and it won't change. It'll just improve the performance, really. It won't change anything else. And then another thing too is, what was I going to say? It'll make the blade lighter. So one thing I noticed by removing, of course, the weight from the back of the handle here, if I did another hole here, the blade might feel a little front heavy. So that's something I'll look into in the next batch that I make, which will be pretty soon. And then here's number 5. So I've got them stamped. I do have the dates on them. It's not quite the same as like here, right? Where I have like everything written out. And I got the serial numbers on this side. I had to change the serial number location because once you wrap a handle, I still need to see where the serial number is, right? Personally, for me, because it makes things a lot easier over here when somebody buys knives, like, okay, this is number 2, instead of like everything being covered and like, oh, which one's which? So, I'm just pulling it out slowly because I don't want to scratch anything. So this one was a bit of a difficult one to deal with because I forgot to actually, when I forged these, I forgot to keep the blades like completely flat. And so this one progressively got thicker as it went out. And so when I made the sheath, I couldn't pull it out. So I had to grind it and redo the sheath and just take some metal off the spine. But, you know, I think it looks pretty cool like that. The thing is, like, it's difficult to, if you do all this grinding before the quenching and it's got a small ass tip like this, it's just not gonna, you're just not gonna get the same type of heat treat. So, you know, a lot of this grinding like this you have to do afterwards. But I think it did actually remove some weight from the front too. This one's like pretty well balanced, feels pretty good in the hand. Again, these Pikals, they can just be full steel. They really don't need like scales, or they really don't need like a handle. And personally, I think I would rather go with the narrowest, most lightweight, because it truly is an EDC knife. Pikals are really like 100% sort of an EDC knife in a sense. So, whereas like, for example, with Puukko, these rivet lock Puukkos, you know, I have a whole bunch. I made a whole bunch. Which ones were the ones from the other day? You know, I just want to... So, you know, basically like this, you know, in its current configuration, it's basically an EDC knife, you know, right? You got your full tang, you can use it the way it is, you can use it as a paring knife. But because it's also, you know, heavy duty centric, you know, you want to, you'll be able to beat this around a lot more, because it's not, the full purpose of this knife is not completely dependent on the tip being completely being like delicate. So, you know, it makes more sense to put like a wrapped handle on this. It makes much more sense to put you know, scales on this if you want to. I don't think I'm gonna put scales personally on these. What I'm gonna do is I think I might actually wrap all these handles, and then I can get them shipped to that store in central Finland, or send them full metal like this. But either way, it works full steel, it works with handles, it works with scales, so it's kind of like more versatile in that sense, and it is supposed to be like a beater knife. And if you saw those videos with the rivet lock Puukko long being, you know, it goes over 90 degree, the bend test. I haven't done it with these, but everything is exactly the same, so I expect it to be pretty much similar in terms of strength. It's not going to snap on you, but yeah, so, you know, that's the main difference between these two, is that this is a delicate knife, so I can remove a lot of metal from it to make it as light as possible. With the rivet lock Puukko medium, it's supposed to be a beater knife. It's supposed to be pretty tough. It's supposed to take on some abuse. So, you know, I want to keep as much metal on there while also making it versatile for handle options. Because, you know, if you look at any manufacturer, any knife, you know, store website or whatever, they're going to have these full steel options that people can make their own handles for. Now, one thing with these is that, where did I put it now? This is the best way, in my opinion, to do it. Or you can, of course, have it go all the way. But you want it to be pretty flush on the top, so that, you know, it's not the metal that bites into your hand. And then you want to peen these in. You want to, because then what happens is like all the wood itself is like forced against the surface permanently, and you don't have to rely on the glue, only the glue, just to keep everything in place. So it's very easy to do this. It's easier than doing it the traditional way that most people do it, with just these random pins that are flush. You just make the scales separately, and then you peen them in, and you have the glue in between if you want. And yeah, you don't need clamps. Like, you don't need clamps to keep the pressure on to the scales onto the tang. Like, these are your clamps. This is like a permanent clamp. And so this one, I don't remember what number it is. Oh, 25. See, I put the numbers down there. You see what I mean? Where, because the serial number was so low, instead of being like up here, the serial number being down there, I still have to see what serial number it is. So that's why I moved the serial number. And you can see maybe here the 40 grit belt marks that go at an angle all the way up. Instead of thumb jimping, I just keep the spine with a 40 grit finish on the spine at an angle, so that you get some friction, but you don't need the thumb jimping. Oh, this is not the right sheath. Gotta be careful with that. So you can wear this as a neck knife, I guess. One thing that I think I will start doing with the rivet lock Puukkos is actually, instead of this fold over sheath, I'm going to just do 2-layer, so that we got these eyelets on both sides, because I think people might actually appreciate that more with these anyway. But yeah, that's all there is to it, guys. Just a quick update on the rivet lock Puukkos and rivet lock Pikals and where they're going, and the sheaths. Now the sheaths are done. This is basically like a finalized product, and they're going to be mostly made in sort of this fashion. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. I carry mine like this, so I just like that. Then I carry my rivet lock Puukkos in my pocket, so it's literally just slides into the pocket. I just carry it like that, and then I just pull it out. So this is just a random one I made for myself. It's number 22. It's got a tip like that, and I just do that, leave it there, and then I got, of course, the rivet lock Puukko long, and as you can see, I would like to have a curl at the back there. And then, of course, I've got my Pikal folding friction folder, and then I got this one, which is 100% of the time around my neck, except when I'm sleeping. But this I carry I'll take all my other knives off, and I'll continue carrying my scalpel. So these you should definitely get. They're on my website. So guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.